Let's go.
Hi guys, this is Elena from Cross Cultural Development, and you are watching or listening to the last episode of Bending Culture of 2025, the podcast where we dive into the real life challenges and hidden opportunities of working across cultures. For the last year, you heard stories, strategies, few laughs along the way. They were all designed to help you to break cultural barriers and turn differences into your biggest advantages and global superpowers. Because it's the last one of 2025, I wanted to make it something special, something different, something that hopefully will inspire you to do something special and different in the new year. Because I'm sure that life only changes if we are ready and willing to take new action. So new life doesn't mean new dreams, maybe, but it definitely means new actions. And I was thinking about how to do that. And then the guest of today came along and together we boom, found the answer. Because the only way to inspire people to step out of their comfort zone or to expand this comfort zone is to do it yourself and to show that at the end, it can be uncomfortable doing that, but you not only survive, but you also grow in the process and as a result. And that is why my guest today is Valeria Kadelski. Val. She is a certified career transition coach and business mentor. She's also a founder of her own company, Spark Coaching with Val. Her mission in life and her job is to help ambitious expats to move from the work and life situation when they are not aligned anymore to what they are or what they want to be, and to find job and lifestyle which has more purpose in it. And it can be in a way of finding a new role within your own country or within your own organization, or to build a new life around your own passion. Her approach and Spark coaching method is designed to find clarity, to find meaningful career without burning all the bridges and starting all over again. To make this approach, she uses her own experience. She has been living an expat life for several years already. She has a background in a very intensive tech world, and she also had her own major turning career points. So she uses all this knowledge to help people on the crossroads to find and understand what they really want, what is defining them as what they are now, and how to take actions to move to this. She works with professionals across Europe and beyond Europe, helps them to move into new industries, new countries, and new ventures. So if we take a dream and we need to turn it into a vision. If we have a vision, we need to turn it into reality. And that is where Vels come in and helps to make a concrete and step-by-step sustainable plan to do that. Val graciously agrees to coach me today on my dream, and I am feeling very grateful, but also very vulnerable. But I will start with welcome, Val. Nice to have you here, and great that you find time to join me today.
Well, hi, Elena. Thank you so much for having me here. And what a great introduction you just made of me. Expectations are high, but I am also very excited to try this with you. And thank you for being brave to do this on your podcast. I really admire that. So yeah, very excited.
What we're going to do today, we're going to turn a little bit the roles, and I will take a step back and become a coachee. And that's not something I'm used to, especially when somebody else is watching. I know that it's not only for experts or for professionals. I think that there are a lot of people who want to do something different in their lives, who are not happy in the place where they are, but they don't know how to do that by themselves, and somehow they don't have courage to step and ask for the help of a professional, of a business mentor, or a career coach. And so we don't know what these people are doing, what is Val's secrets, how she's gonna brainwash her clients in order to move to another country or change their job. So I hope that you will see that it's all about a lot of love from her side and a lot of willingness from the side of a coachee. And it's not scary, maybe a bit, but I think that you will see how great the job that she's doing is and how big help it is. And it will help you to make some decisions or to look for some help or maybe just do with yourself, right?
Yes.
So, well, floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. And don't worry, I'm not going to brainwash you into doing anything you don't want to.
Promise that, guys. She's not going to brainwash me.
All right. Well, Elena, then my first question would be, where would you like to start?
Where would I like to start? For the last couple of years, I'm somehow playing with the idea, and I have no idea where this dream came to me. But I somehow want to move to relocate to Portugal. That is the country I have been for a couple of times, and I'm really amazed with the people, with weather, with food, with wine. And somehow I was thinking, okay, I spent the first half of my year in Russia, the second half of my year in the Netherlands, and I'm feeling like in the next couple of years, I am ready to do something different. But it is also very scary because I'm 56 years old. So I have, according to Dutch law, to my pension, I have some 11, maybe 12 years by the time we get there. So that means that I will have to have job if I'm planning to relocate within the next 2-3 years. I need to find the way to make money over there. And I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah,
So
I hear you.
it's like a dream,
Mhm.
but there is no vision yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, maybe we can start with that, with the vision. So what do you think would give you moving to Portugal? How do you envision it to be for yourself?
I would love, I'm seeing it like I am doing some work remotely. I want to build life there for a climate also. You know, you are in Denmark, and I don't think it's a big difference.
Oh.
So I would love to have more sunny days, being more
Mm,
outside and not only in the summer. So that is the nice part.
mm,
What does it mean? It means that it should be some job which I can do online. And that is not what I'm doing now because I'm working with teams and it's always I'm in company. So it should be then doing different, pivoting what I'm doing now into an online,
mhm,
which I have no idea how to do. Or it is somehow combining and becoming more international so that I can go for a week, for example,
mm,
somewhere, do my work in company somewhere in Europe, and then come back to my home base in
yeah,
Portugal.
yeah. Okay. So what do you think would be the impact for you personally of this new lifestyle of changing from where you are right now?
It is a little bit scary because I don't have any friends or connections over
Mhm.
there. And so it might make me more lonely.
Mm,
That is the negative impact, I think. But I think on the other side, I feeling like I would love a new chapter. I would love a
mm,
new adventure, and that feels like very inspiring to think about it. You know,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. So if we get into more concrete side of this vision, right? So you're in Portugal, you see yourself either working online or traveling maybe for some periods of time during the year, maybe going to other countries, maybe working with teams, maybe not, but this kind of work dynamic. And how do your days look like? Like a typical day in this new reality of yours, what would that be? Like you wake up and
I wake up and I step outside,
yeah, yeah.
and the I hope that the tempo of life is it tempo? Is it English word?
Yeah, yeah, like
The speed of life is a little bit slower.
yeah,
That is what I'm looking for a little bit
okay,
because I'm feeling like I need this more balanced life for myself.
okay.
And so I'm going outside, having some doing some yoga, and then and then starting to work and working behind your computer and then going for lunch somewhere outside with meeting friends and communicating. And then in the afternoon doing maybe working again or maybe going and playing some golf. And you hope that I'm becoming more and more passionate about since I started at the beginning of
Yeah.
the year. And then maybe I'm doing some online conversations with the customers in the sense of what are we gonna do? Maybe planning a little
Yeah.
bit the new trainings or something like that.
Okay. And how does that make you feel to imagine this new daily life for yourself?
Very good.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah, very good.
you've been smiling while you've been, I don't know if everyone will be able to see this, but you've been smiling while you were saying this.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So how would you say then it is this feeling compared to, for example, some of those fears that you mentioned before? Because now in your vision you said, for example, that you were gonna go and meet friends for lunch, and then earlier you mentioned that one of the fear would be to have to make new community or like
Yeah.
meet new people. How does that impact you? Like that fear, how big is it is compared to what you just described?
You know, the moment I finished talking about it,
Mm,
my active brain
yes.
started to tell me, yeah, 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 yeah. And how do you get there? You described your perfect day,
Mm,
but how is
yes.
focusing on how.
But so you've been abroad before, right? It's you're not living in your own original country. So how did you do it? How did you do it when you first went abroad? You must have not had many contacts back then as well, right?
No, but I had a job offer. And that
Okay.
gave me, first of all, I was 25. So,
Mm.
and I believe that we are much braver at 25.
Maybe.
Yeah, or maybe it's just a bias what I have.
Mm,
That's true.
yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Is it really, are we braver when we're there? Yeah, okay. Something to think about. But I had a job offer. I had
Mm,
somebody who said to me, okay, come over and you will have
okay.
income here and you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So in this new vision of yours, right, where you still work independently as you're doing now, like what would be the like something that would make you feel as maybe comfortable or as secure as maybe having a job? Like what would be the equivalent of it? Can you imagine any situation where that would help you make connections, for example?
I have a ex-colleague of mine. He and his wife moved to Italy and started an B&B. It was like 10 years ago or something they
Yeah.
did it. And what that is the ideal. If we're talking about ideal,
Yeah.
his wife was really focusing on the B&B, and he also had some job he could do for this Dutch company where we used to work
Okay.
together. So if that now I'm thinking, okay,
Yeah.
you have a partner, it's easier to start something like that. So I'm alone. That means that I'm already one step behind. I don't have
Mm.
a job at that moment, so I cannot make arrangement with my employer.
Okay. Okay. I hear you. But what I'm hearing you saying is all the things you don't have.
Yes.
So what about the things you do have? Because surely there's quite a few things you do have from your work experience, from the things you've tried before, from your own resilience. You're a very resourceful woman. So, what are the things you do have?
Ooh, what are the things I do have? I have possibilities in the next year, just 2026,
Mhm.
to take some longer periods of time, a
Mhm.
couple of weeks, 2, 3 weeks at a time, and go and travel around and
Okay.
get to know the culture and the laws and everything.
Mm. Yeah.
I have my Portuguese language lessons. I started taking Portuguese
Okay.
language
There
lessons.
you
So
go.
I have that. So when I came to the Netherlands, I was with English
Yeah.
and I learned Dutch and but afterwards, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm preparing beforehand. So I have
Yes.
some knowledge of the language.
Mhm.
I also have a possibility, I think, to plan my work because I know which assignments I want to take, and I can plan them beforehand, so I can figure a little bit out when I need to be in the Netherlands, so I can do some planning about it. And I have friends and family, mostly friends here, so I can sell my apartment here
Mhm.
and still come to stay here for some times
Mm.
when I'm at work. So that do I have. And yeah, that's else, I think. I don't have anything anymore.
I mean, you've listed already quite a few things, surely more than the ones you don't have, it seems to me at least. So, Elena, one thing that I haven't asked you is by when would you like to step into this new life of yours in Portugal?
Between 2 to 4 years.
Okay, yeah, that is a good time frame. So if we say, okay, let's be bold. Let's say 2 years from now. That's like the shortest time. I see your face being like, oh my God, what's she saying?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Look, the thing with bold goals is that worst case scenario, you get closer to that than to the farthest away one, right?
Yeah,
If you aim for the bold one. So anyway, imagine yourself from 2 years from now, it's at the end of the year of 2027, right?
yeah.
And you're there. You're there, you're living exactly the day you described to me before, where you wake up, you step out, it's sunny, you do some work, you have lunch outside with your friends, then you do some more work, then maybe you play golf. Everything you've described to me before, okay, is in 2 years from now. Now you're there, walk me backwards from that time back to today. What has happened? Doesn't have to be detailed, but just try and walk me backwards from that day back to here. What has happened?
What has happened? It's difficult to work from
It
there
is. Mm,
to okay, because I was thinking like, what are the first steps?
mm,
What happened in that time? I have a small community of people
mhm.
um there,
How did you find them? Who are these people? What kind of people are they?
expats and
Mm,
locals.
okay.
I think that I met them through my hobbies. I think more like yoga studio or golf club,
Yeah.
and maybe some other natural
Hmm. Yeah.
events. What happens? Yeah, I'm somehow having difficulty connecting my work situation
Mm.
to this because
So you
I
said that you're working online.
yeah,
What are you do with clients? What kind of work is that?
I think it's consulting work. It's more like talking to organizations or companies who yeah, maybe consulting them on all these multicultural
Hmm.
issues
Hmm.
like onboarding or collaboration in between the departments
Yeah.
spread all over the world, stuff like that. But I'm not sure that I want to only do the online work because the biggest energy I get is standing before the group,
Yeah.
working with a team life. So I do want to have that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you mentioned traveling, right? At some
Yeah.
periods of time to maybe like then what would that be for? Deliver training, deliver
Yeah.
what would that be?
I think, yeah, deliver training, working with teams. And now I'm thinking about it.
Yes.
I was talking to somebody and she told me about one these tendencies for the future.
Mm,
And the idea was that the companies will stop hiring people and taking them into the permanent teams, but they will hire individuals on the project basis.
mm,
And that means that it will be even more international or
yeah.
multicultural than it was before. So you don't have a team in one country; you have like
Mm,
project teams sitting
yeah.
all over the world, actually.
Yeah.
And I think that is where the future is because these people need to get together for a longer or shorter project, and
Yeah.
they need to work together effectively and
Mhm.
communicate effectively.
Of course.
So that is
Mhm.
somehow is something.
Yeah, that's something that you could be doing, you could be focusing on. It sounds like something that maybe it's interesting for you. So back to the steps then. So in 2 years from now, you would have formed your own community of people locally, but you've also found a way to travel to some other countries because you work with these very international companies that work with people that are actually sitting in different countries. So they need to align some way. And of course, because they're sitting in different countries, that the part online, but also then bringing them together somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you do that work. So how do you get to get that work? Then it's the step before that then.
When I told you about that, I was thinking, actually, I can do this preparational work and looking for these companies. I can do that in my home in the Netherlands, but I also can do
Mm.
it in my home in Portugal
Right. Yeah.
because it asks some research and the application, and you don't have to be in the place. Yeah, I was one of my guests was a lady who is doing an international hiring recruitment of high level professionals, and she told me that before Corona, all the interviews had to be in person.
Right. Yes.
And now she says it's the new pool of opportunities because it's all
Yeah.
can be done online.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you're already doing this, right? You're already talking with people like from different work. I mean, we're talking now. I'm sitting somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
So you're used to that. So you already have that. It's not something you have to actually learn to do.
Yeah. But somehow in my generation, and
Mm.
I'm Generation X, we somehow believe that in order to close the deal, you need to be in the same room as the person who decides, right?
Yeah, I understand that. You know what? I understand because that's, of course, like the way that we were brought up. And I mean, if you look at the newest generation, it's even for me, I'm a millennial, that's even different now. So
Yeah.
every generation comes with their own different sets of understanding of how things should be done, right? But of course, the workforce adapts, we learn to adapt, and there are opportunities for the life and the vision you want to build within this new era of how to do work. And
Yeah.
after all, we are the stories we tell ourselves. So if you tell yourself that that's something you cannot do, you cannot do it. If you tell yourself you're someone that is capable to close a deal or like to have a
Yeah.
client, even if you don't meet them necessarily to start with. And then you will, right? Because you just said that you would like, you enjoy meeting them in person, which is
Yeah.
fine. But what is stopping you from doing that? Is there any challenge, any obstacle you see with doing that right now?
I think I think only the thought in my mind. Actually, I
Mm,
cannot find anything outside of me
okay,
because sometimes you're longer in the traffic jam here than it takes to fly from Porto to.
that's true. That is very true. Yes. So just because I'm also conscious of time and you know, of course this episode is for people to understand, right? But so we went through, you know, your 2 years and then you have a community, you have this work, you're doing what you want to do. Then we're back to maybe in the next few months, like 2026. So what should you do then? What is your first step at this point?
A first step, and that is
Mm.
really what I came like last week. I
Yeah.
want to take the second half of March and to go to Portugal and
Hmm.
do some research.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah, because you
that
need to try it out, right?
yeah.
You need to test. I'm a big fan of testing things out to see if that's actually what you want.
Yeah. But what will happen if I travel there and I decide maybe it's not for me and I spend the last couple of years dreaming about it and now
Yeah.
it will go away?
Yeah, you tell me. What would you do then?
I think I will get upset for some time, for
That's,
one day or
yeah,
two.
for
For one
sure.
day or two, take a
Yeah.
time to mourn my dream, and then I think I will figure out what are the other things that I want to explore, and just let go of it and look at the possibilities because I do want to have
Yeah.
some new challenge that's
Uh,
already sitting somewhere.
yeah.
It's too deep to say that I'm not gonna do that.
Worst thing that can happen, you think?
I will have a great vacation in Portugal and come back to
Exactly.
cold, cold Netherlands.
I mean,
That's the worst thing.
right? Nothing too bad with that.
No,
And is this something that that should occupy your mind right now? Like what would happen if?
no. It's. I think
Yeah, it's
that you
natural.
trigger in me, and my brain is just
Tiring.
wants to protect me and say, yeah,
That's what the brain does. That's what
yeah,
the brain does. Our brain doesn't like change. It doesn't like discomfort. It likes predictability. It likes things that we already know. But I think that when you feel that there's something that there is a slight friction towards, it's not necessarily bad. It actually might be that it's something exciting and new that you just need to, again, take that little first step. And then after you've taken the first step, you think about the second and third.
yeah,
You, in this past 30 minutes, you already told me your whole next to you, like everything seems super clear in your head to me by how you're telling me this. But how do you feel after we talked about this?
more excited than scared.
Mm.
And I'm really like thinking, okay, I'm gonna book a ticket after we finish.
Oh my God, yes, please.
I have no idea how and what and stuff like that, but I would do the investigation because
Mm.
I I know the place where I
Yeah,
want to fly to, and then I need to investigate how I will make it practical. But I still have like 3 months, two and a half
yeah,
months before that. So, and I'm really excited to plan this. And
nice.
exactly what you say, the worst case scenario will be that I say, okay, I spent half a year learning very difficult language because Portuguese is really difficult.
More difficult than Dutch?
Yes.
Ah, really? Well, I
Yes.
think I think it's because our base language is different, but I would definitely have a better time with Portuguese, I'm sure, than with
Oh yeah,
Danish, for
but
example.
yeah, because Italian and Portuguese
Yeah,
are Latin languages.
yeah,
My background is in
of
English
course.
and German,
Yeah,
and so German
yeah,
languages, and
yeah,
that
yeah. It's harder. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and what really shocks me that when I'm reading it and when I hear them talking, it's like two different languages. They
I
write
f-
something and then
I
they
hear you.
pronounce something.
I hear you. I have the same feeling with Danish. So
Oh
I
really?
completely understand. Yep, yep, yep. They don't read as it's written. It's completely different. So we
Okay. So
skip a bunch of letters. Elena, what would you say then are the top 3 takeaways from our chat today? What would you say that these are for your own plans?
for me is
Yeah.
the biggest takeaway, what is the worst thing that can happen and why I'm not doing that?
Mm,
Really like realizing that nothing can happen. The second one that really surprised me
mm,
is the idea of being brave, more brave at 25 than in 55.
mm,
And how true is that actually? And maybe it's just the way of our brain to guard me from moving, from doing
mm.
things I want.
Yeah.
And the third one is realization that what I want to do in the future, like working with this project teams, I can do that from actually anywhere. And I never looked at it like that because you have the safety blanket of the country you lived in for
Yeah.
30 years, but it doesn't have to be the safety blankets. It's just it's much nicer to have this, to sit somewhere in a warm, beautiful
Mm,
place, little house somewhere in Portugal, and yeah, that is what
yeah.
I want. Yeah.
Another thing that I wanted to mention that maybe you didn't notice, but remember at the beginning you said, I'm unsure how I'm gonna meet people locally and find new friends. And then you proceeded on telling me exactly how. You just were like, yeah, I'm gonna meet them through my hobbies, through golfing, through yoga, to social events, and like, so you do know. You do
Yes.
know more things that you think you do, but you know.
Yeah. Exactly. We have the answers inside of us, but that is,
Yes.
I think that is what a good coach, a good mentor does.
Mm.
They ask you the questions so that you can find these answers which are already inside of us. And that is what we cannot do by ourselves because we need somebody to ask this question somehow from outside to start our
Yeah.
brain working in the right direction and find solutions.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because we are programmed to look at why it's not going to work out, right? So
Yes,
how we
exactly.
started, you said to me, okay, that's why it's not going to work. Okay, but now change the perspectives, move from another side and say why it does going to work. And then you start
Exactly.
calling them. you still have this little voice inside your head who is telling you, but yeah, okay, the fact that you are learning Portuguese doesn't mean that you can move to Portugal,
Mm.
of course, but it's like a small things, and we want like big, sure stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that is rarely the case. I mean, to be honest, every time you do something new and you step into something that you haven't tried before, you are going to be a little scared. I mean, it's normal. Again, back to the brain trying to give you some warnings, right?
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean that it is a sign that that's not going to work out. First of all, like fear and outcome are not necessarily directly correlated unless you make them
yeah,
correlated, right? Because if you don't, of course, I know it sounds very it's overused this sentence, but you will never achieve if you don't try, right? And that's
definitely.
the point, is like, do it scared, do it unsure, like this sense of security is fictional. Even in where we are sitting now today, stuff can happen that is beyond our control. So what is security really?
Yeah,
It's more a perception of what we know. And I think that, for example, your next step of going there and researching will help your brain adjust to a new reality and tell you, hey, actually, this is safe. You've been there, you understand, you have researched, you talk to people, you know what it's like. And then, it doesn't have to be from 0 to 100. That's what I always tell my clients when they think, but if I want to, let's say, do my own thing and have my own business, I mean, how do I go? Because they think from today to like 100. But then if you do this process of actually understanding the little steps that you need, then it becomes manageable, because it's, again, about progress, about doing it gradually, not necessarily, oh, quit your job tomorrow and just move to a different country. I mean, don't get me wrong, some people do that successfully. Most people, though, reality is it takes a little bit more, right? And that's okay. That's fine. It's completely
yeah,
doable. So yeah, I'm really glad that you were very open to do this. I really enjoyed our conversation. So I hope it was the same for you and for the people listening,
absolutely.
of course. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's funny, because it is a simple conversation, but
Mm,
how much more clarity and fresh ideas I have now than 30 minutes ago.
yeah.
It's just amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much, Val, for agreeing to coach me
Yeah, of
on.
course. Thank you.
Oh, guys, I don't know how it was for you, but for me, it was very interesting and very powerful. And I do hope that you got inspired by what you heard. And if you want to move further in your career or to another country, and you are like me, playing with the idea for a couple of years already and not taking any steps, or maybe just like me, very comfortable step to learn language, but it's already a first step. And working with a professional on this one who will ask you the questions, yeah, it will absolutely change your perspective. It definitely did for me, and we will be talking with Val only for like 40 minutes or something. I want to thank Val for this very, very valuable coaching session, and I want to thank you guys for your time this last year. And I hope to see you and to hear you and to talk to you, to share with you all kind of stuff about this multicultural world we live in year 2026. So until next year, this is Elena from Cross Cultural Development, and let's keep bending culture together to shape a thriving, inclusive business. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Val. Bye bye.